manufacturers and the small business owners. They lament rising costs and Nigerians grown as transport fares, food costs surge. And there is also a revelation into why the petrol prices may keep rising. And well, beneath that story is a story around APC, ADC being at, loggerheads in a war. They put it actually, APC, ADC at war. This is as the ADC says, increase in poverty is Tinubu's scorecard, and the ruling party is replying that you've lost touch with current global realities, and that's the ruling party replying there. The ADC had made the statement that the poverty rate is at 63%, and that's the reason for the back and forth between the ADC and also the APC. Also on the Saturday Sun paper this morning, you have the story on Abia APC being united, and that's coming from Senator Carlo. Says Abia APC is united and are ready to win the presidential Guba polls come 2027. The story you get on the Saturday Sun paper this morning. Airlines to FCCPC, Christmas fare hikes, not price manipulation. Airlines to FCCPC, Christmas fare hikes, not price manipulation. They say the operators selling tickets at a loss as Jet A1, that's aviation fuel, rises to 1,800 in 2 weeks. Right. I'll check out another story around that is a story on the Lagos State issuing the 2026 flash flooding red alert. This is as they order Owode, Iwaya, Makoko and other lowland residents to relocate. On page 29 of the Saturday Sun this morning is a story around federal government, states, local governments sharing 1.894 trillion naira February 2026 revenue. I mentioned earlier, that's a story you get on page 29 of the Daily Sun paper this morning. And on entertainment, Ada Uli says she is ready to play risky roles in Nollywood. You might want to check that out when you get a copy of the Saturday Sun paper this morning. And real quick on the Vanguard paper, the Vanguard on the Saturday morning, Middle East crisis is their lead story. Nigeria's poor to face more hardships as experts list impact. One of the impact they say, well, on page 8, that's how you're getting the story. They say 30 trillion naira oil windfall possible if crude production increases. That's coming from NESG. US-Israel strike intensify and Iran vows continue resistance. There's also another story that of the lead story on the Vanguard paper this morning. On page 10, there is a story around political will, and there is Sheikh Gumi and experts that are saying that there is no political will to decimate terrorists. Recall that sometime in the week also we had brought a report around Sheikh Gumi saying that government knows the terrorists, their locations, and well, there are writers to this story that are saying that security experts are agreeing with Sheikh Gumi on this particular one, that government knows the terrorists and their locations. And also there was another story of a serving senior officers who are saying that repentant terrorists are leaking information. Repentant terrorists are leaking information. Repentant terrorists are leaking information. That's a story you also get on the Vanguard paper this morning. There is also a sad story from Delta State, right? Attacked by herdsmen. It's a revelation. Attacked by herdsmen. Detained by police. Double ordeal for Delta cleric and farmer. Well, they had some challenge with herders in their community somewhere around Ndokwa East in Delta State. They had this challenge with the community, and somehow it led to confrontation, and the confrontation led to someone getting injured, and they had to move the cattle. Well, guns, there was actually gunshot when certain security or livestock management committee member was informed, and so, well, it led the person who was the victim to become a suspect because he was taken to the police station, and reportedly a call came in for his detention. And so it's a sorry story you might want to check out when you get a copy of the Vanguard paper this morning, or you could just go online and look for that particular story and You'd likely find that an interesting read. Another story that you also would likely find an interesting read is a story around 2027. Is PDP collapsing because Wike is holding it down for President Tinubu or due to internal crisis? A question, right? Is the PDP collapsing because Wike is holding it down for President Tinubu or due to internal crisis? Well, recall Wike is one who has shown interest in reconciliation amid this issue they are having. I mean, this dispute they're having, and them waiting for what the Supreme Court would say concerning all of the challenges they're having. Page 16 is reporting, or asking the question rather this morning, is it that they are having an internal crisis, or that there is the FCT minister who is holding it down, and so regardless of what they do, they are likely to meet those challenges, and come 2027, they just may not be on the ballot. That's a story you find, like I mentioned, on page 16 of the Vanguard paper this morning. I leave the Vanguard paper quickly and touch on the Daily Independent. Above the nameplate, woman delivers quadruplets at FMC Abeokuta. This is as federal government reaffirms commitment to maternal care. Besides that, Adegboye Onigbinde's legacy, integrity, football, and the nation's debt of gratitude is also a story you find on the Saturday Independent. Well, their lead story is actually around Osun, when 14 political parties jostled for Governor Adeleke's plum job. So there's a revelation into the political parties on that particular paper, and also the candidates who are jostling for Governor Adeleke's plum job. Governor Adeleke is now of the Accord Party. Is he going to clinch the ticket when the election holds, or would the APC, will it be the PDP that he defected from? Do they have someone who is running from the PDP? Or the political parties would clinch the top job? And well, it's a story you also get on page 8 of the Saturday Independent. Osun State is one state that many analysts, I mean political analysts and experts, are saying that we are looking up to, the election, right? On page 6 of the Daily Independent this Saturday, Federal Character Commission to clamp down on job sales, says Honorable Eze. Job racketeering, job sales. They're looking to clamp down on it at the federal level. Hopefully that's something that comes true, right? Away from that, real quick, promotions amid insecurity, a test for Nigeria's police leadership, is also a key story you get on the Daily Independent paper this morning. Carrying out promotions amid the insecurity, and is this a test for Nigeria's police leadership? A test for Nigeria's police leadership. Quickly, I'll check out the Weekend Trust. Importation wipes out 90 rice mills. Importation wipes out 90 rice mills. This is the lead story of the Daily Trust paper this morning. And above that story, the truth about Abacha loot, Professor Monzali Jubril reveals a revelation into the truth about Abacha loot. What is he going to say about Abacha loot this morning? Is he going to debunk the rumors of the Abacha loot? Is he going to expand on the rumors of Abacha loot? What's the truth? You should find out when you get a copy of the Daily Trust for this morning. CBN bars loan defaulters from new credits, a story you also get on page 21. Why more women are in Ogun Guba race? There was a revelation into that particular thing there, a good news for women who are in the Ogun State Guba race, but why are they? Why are there more women? This is not exactly what we've seen recently, right? Amid the clamor for 35% affirmation and all of those. Well, in Ogun State, there are more women who are in Ogun Guba race, and you should find out why that is on page 26 of the Daily Trust paper this morning. I'll leave the Daily Trust paper real quick and check out the This Day paper. Above the nameplate, Iran war, concerns mount in Nigeria, others over looming food shortage and rising inflation. That's the story you get there. The story also has riders. Trump administration underestimated Iran war's impact on Strait of Hormuz, says a report. There's also a recent story of Trump saying there's been success in a particular area of the war, and warning that if Iran continues occupancy of the Strait of Hormuz, blocking of the Strait of Hormuz, they're going to rain, more weaponry, more, just so that Iran could open that critical corridor up for smooth flowing of crude oil sales and all of that. But concerns really are mounting in Nigeria over a looming food shortage and rising inflation, a function of the Iran war, the shortage in crude and fuel and all of those. The ADC is also making its way to the Disney paper this morning as they vow strong showing in coming elections despite the challenges they may have. That's a story you also get on the Disney paper this morning. Keyamo says there is no going back on funds cashless policy. That's a policy that has also been showing challenges lately with people who were looking to get on board the airplane and at the airports. There's this cashless policy and it's making for queues and all of those. Well, Keyamo says that it is here to stay. So hopefully in time it normalizes and the queues abate. But Keyamo says it is here to stay and there is no going back on cashless policy, right? Tinubu states local governments now have more funds, must deliver at grassroots and also be held accountable. Other papers are telling media executives and media personnel, those who are in the media, to hold the states and local governments accountable, just as they are holding Tinubu accountable, just as they would hold Tinubu accountable, just as we would hold Tinubu accountable. The president also wants that we hold the state and local governments accountable. He says they also are receiving more funds, and so they should be held accountable. Away from that, to the Saturday Telegraph this morning, they're reporting on the Middle East conflict. I'll leave that and check out a story on Nwafo Rizu's daughter. And they are reporting how Zik influenced Nwafo Rizu's daughter, the father's trajectory in politics. Nwafo Rizu's daughter is actually reporting how Zik influenced her father's trajectory in politics. The story on Keyamo saying there's no going back on funds, cashless policy is also there. And on PDP crisis, Makinde's group in dilemma after spat with Mohammed makes it also to the second page of the Saturday Telegraph, with Oyo governor spokesman saying there is the Makinde's group is considering options and saying that the reports are not true. Also, there's a story around page 2 of the Saturday Telegraph that's saying Nigeria's crude production is to increase by 225,000 barrels per day. And why is that? This is as Shell resumes production at Bonga FPSO. Yeah, a story also we saw in the papers this week, right? Let me check out the Nation paper real quick. PDP factions race against time as reconciliation falters. Wiki-backed NCC sets no-go areas, insists on its congresses. And Turaki Group says they are aware of pressure from election timetable. This is amid talks that they are looking to go to the Supreme Court, to push and further their case. Above the nameplate of the nation, strengthen federalism, scrutinize states, local governments, Tinubu tax media, a way to put that remark from the president. Adeola heads task force on petroleum sector reforms is also an interesting read you could check out on the Nation paper. This is as the paper also says, panel targets $10 billion liquidity boost to deliver blueprint in 6 months. Alrighty. CBN bars big debtors from new loans and banking facilities is also a story you get on page 5 of the Nation paper. And FAC distributing 1.894 trillion naira to federal government, states, local governments also make its way to the Nation paper. Some other interesting story there. Dark side of Nigerian women undergoing BBL and ribs removals surgeries. Lately, there's been that clamor, say no to BBL, hashtag say no to BBL on X. It's been there. And this is following a woman who passed on, who died because She had done the first, the second, and third Brazilian butt enlargement. And so the third time, this is regardless of what the doctors had told her, what professionals had told her, that it would be disastrous. It could be deadly for her to go, to the third round of that particular surgery and procedure. Yet, she decided to do that, and she passed on. So it has been that clamor, there has been that say no to BBL that's ongoing on X and other social media platforms as well. The Nation paper is reporting on page 11 this morning the dark side of Nigerian women undergoing BBL and the ribs removal surgeries. You should also check out what they have to say there, right? The Saturday Punch, blackout wreaks havoc. This is on the power crisis. Business is shut down, households turn to generators, and heat waves. Aso Rock tests 17 billion naira villa solar project. Well, while we're talking about how to generate power and how to ensure that the NERC and the power holding companies, they supply enough power supply, the federal government and Aso Rock are testing out their 17 billion naira villa solar project. So they're clearly looking and going the way of the renewable energy. What does this mean for Nigerians? Or what does this mean for the Gencos and the Discos? What does it mean for them? Would we see an improvement in power supply with this move by the federal government? If Aso Rock is satisfied, would they reason other Nigerians? Questions that many Nigerians will probably be asking, following this news, right? Storm over Chimamanda's son's death as doctors demand apology. There's a new twist to that story. You'd like to check it out also on the Saturday Punch paper this morning. Popular pastor Agbala Gabriel battles fraud and sex allegations. It's also a story that makes its way to the Punch paper this morning. There is also a revelation and insight into the travails of Lagos kids who are trading childhood to survive night hawking. This is not just hawking in daylight, but night hawking. And they're reporting the travails of Lagos kids who are trading their childhood to survive. Check out the story also on the Punch paper this morning. I'll go over to the Sporting Sun. Drogba attacks Osimhen, stay strong, as it charges the Nigerian striker. That's coming from Drogba. It says Osimhen should stay strong. And also there is a story around injured Ejuke being fit for Barca clash. All right. And Neymar also gives a revelation into the reason he missed clash on his sister's birthday. Page 3 gets the story for you. Vinicius sets unwanted real record. Is also a story that's contained on the Sporting Sun this morning. Partey to deny 2 charges of rape is also on the Sun paper, the Sporting Sun paper this morning. We also have another story around Ronaldo saying he's enjoying nightlife in Madrid, right? Ronaldo enjoying nightlife in Madrid is also contained on the Sun paper, the Sporting Sun, this Saturday morning. And also, injured Isaac is to return pretty soon, they say. Jake Paul issues update on boxing comeback after undergoing second jaw surgery. They had, he had this fight with Anthony Joshua wherein he was really dealt with. I like to emphasize that he was dealt with, and he's gone through several surgeries after that, and he is giving an update on his boxing comeback after he had gone through the second jaw surgery. Well, that's where we would bring the paper to a wrap this Saturday morning. My name is Henry Ahamuefula. Do stay with Niger Live Television. We'll bring you the Globe in View in a moment. Good morning to you and have a beautiful weekend.
Bayelsa State, home of peace, yo. We are for the peace. All in for peace.
Dear esteemed community leaders and people of Bayelsa State, The Doiduri-led prosperity government is committed to transforming our rural communities into thriving hubs of development. We believe that every community deserves access to absolute peace and quality standard of living. To actualize this vision, we need your support and partnership. Join forces with us to improve rural infrastructure, enhance quality education, boost healthcare, and foster economic growth. Together, we can create opportunities for youth empowerment and employment, promote cultural heritage, and ensure food security and strengthen community social services. How you can support: participate in community engagement forums and collaborate with local government authorities and the Ministry of Community Development. Come, let's build a prosperous Bayelsa together.
Let there be peace, all not for peace.
Courtesy, Honorable Alfred Belamonte Watson, Honorable Commissioner, Minister.
Every ripple starts with a single drop. In Bayelsa, that drop is the Education Development Trust Fund Board (EDTF). From the moment a child sits down to a nutritious meal to the day a scientist steps into a brand new laboratory, EDTF is there, turning challenges into opportunities. 5,000 meals served daily in our model boarding secondary schools. Biological sciences laboratory equipment delivered to Niger Delta University. 1,000 teachers and school leaders trained with the British Council. Special education teachers graduating from Ignatius Ajuru University under EDTF. Scholarship research grants fueling innovation in our state-owned tertiary institutions. TVET, science labs, water facilities, culinary kitchens, and clinical labs springing up across Bayelsa. Vocational scaffolding trainings and a computer-based testing center at UAT Tororua. These are not just projects, they are ripples that spread across classrooms, communities, and the entire state. But a ripple grows stronger when more hands join the water. So whether you're an organization, or a corporate partner, or an individual who believes in education, you can be part of this ripple. Support EDTF and help us expand Ripple. Donate, partner, or volunteer today. Together, let's transform our educational landscape. EDTF, building futures and putting smiles on faces.
I want to see what they
It's on. Yes, so Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) Resurgence Mission 2026 don't come o. Now tested leader, a seasoned administrator, and strong voice for Ijaw Nation. Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, former legal advisor of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, former SA Media and Publicity to MD CEO of NDDC, former SA on Youth Affairs to Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and now currently Secretary General Bayelsa State Center for Youth Development. In vision, they very clear: unity for the council and protection of Ijaw people rights for all Niger Delta. The support for transition security initiative and make government put better money for Niger Delta agencies, plus opportunity for all Ijaw youth for inside job matter and development. Yes, so time is for us to select the correct secretary. We go pilot the affairs of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) 2026. Oh yeah, we make a vote Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, for Secretary General Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. Vote wisely. Ado Alua Onua. It's on. Yes, so Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) Resurgence Mission 2026 don't come o. Now tested leader, a seasoned administrator, and strong voice for Ijaw Nation. Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, former legal advisor of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, former SA Media and Publicity to MD CEO of NDDC, former SA on Youth Affairs to Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, and now currently Secretary General Bayelsa State Center for Youth Development. In vision, they very clear: unity for the council and protection of Ijaw people rights for all Niger Delta. The support for transition security initiative and make government put better money for Niger Delta agencies, plus opportunity for all Ijaw youth for inside job matter and development. Yes, so time is for us to select the correct secretary. We go pilot the affairs of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide (IYC) 2026. Oh yeah, we make a vote Barrister Ayibakro Igbeta, PhD, for Secretary General Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. Vote wisely. Ado Alua Onua.
Every ripple starts with a single drop. In Bielsa, that drop is the Education Development Trust Fund Board EDTF. From the moment a child sits down to a nutritious meal to the day a scientist steps into a brand new laboratory, EDTF is there, turning challenges into opportunities. 5,000 meals served daily in our model boarding secondary schools. Biological sciences laboratory equipment delivered to Niger Delta University. 1,000 teachers and school leaders trained with the British Council. Special education teachers graduating from Ignatius Ajuru University under EDTF. Scholarship research grants fueling innovation in our state-owned tertiary institutions. TVET, science labs, water facilities, culinary kitchens, and clinical labs springing up across Bielsa. Vocational scaffolding trainings and a computer-based testing center at UAT Tororua. These are not just projects, they are ripples that spread across classrooms, communities, and the entire state. But a ripple grows stronger when more hands join the water. So whether you're an organization, or a corporate partner, or an individual who believes in education, you can be part of this ripple. Support EDTF and help us expand Ripple. Donate, partner, or volunteer today. Together, let's transform our educational landscape. EDTF, building futures and putting smiles on faces.